All praises to Ahaya, Ashur, Ahaya, Bashem, Yeshaya, Walk. This is Shabar Israel, and this is part 3 of the 8 planets that we will be discussing. Now, in the previous videos, we found out what a planet was, according to the Bible, and certain names. For example, Uranus is associated with the heavens, according to the book of Matthew. Also, we found out something astronomical will be going on in the heavens, or Uranus, and that is war. We also know that the Greeks labeled a god with this part of the heavens, so we cannot throw out the Bible because of that. We also understood that, according to the Old Testament, that stars are called Kawab, and it gives them personification as a seer. According to the New Testament, they are astron, or asteroids, or astros, and it means a group of stars, a constellation. And we also found out what a constellation means. And it also calls the stars Matzalah, according to the Old Testament, and it means signs of the zodiac. And we went to the book of Job, and Job tells us that the morning stars sang before the Most High, the Son of God. And we know that means, if we look at that word star, it means kokab once again. And we know that if we go back to the Old Testament, that we research stars, it has an excerpt there, 2374, which gives the definition of a seer. So these are seers. And we also defined what a constellation was, according to the book of Job 9:9, by using Pleiades. It verifies that it is a constellation of stars. Now, if we read Job 9:9 again, it states, which maketh Arcturus, Orion, and Pleiades, and the chambers of the south. Now, I told you that we would talk about Chicago and a certain constellation. So let's talk about Arcturus. And it is defined as Aish, and it means constellation, a great bear, Ursa Major. You see that? A great bear. It is designated Alpha Bootis. It's a part of that constellation, and the fourth brightest in the night sky, and the brightest in the northern celestial hemisphere. You see that? And according to some Greeks, that it's been given the meaning herdsman or plowman. And it is visible to Earth's hemisphere along the equator, 19 degrees north of the celestial equator. Now, it is stated that this star culminates at midnight on the 27th of April, 9 o'clock p.m., and on June 10th, during the late northern spring or southern autumn. When this so-called star constellation is visible. Now, here's a map here where you can see Arcturus as it aligns in these constellations. Now, it is one of the 48 constellations described by Ptolemy. Yes, Ptolemy, among the now 88 modern so-called constellations, all right? So, it's associated with Egypt as well. Keep that in mind. It's associated with Egypt. And we know that we are living in spiritual Egypt, the Hebrews, all right? So, in ancient Greek, it means guardian of the bear. You see that? Watcher, guardian, guarding. You see that? So this star, they consider it a guardian. And we know the watchers were supposed to guard the heavens. In modern day cultures, Arcturus achieved fame when its light was rumored to be the mechanism used to open the 1933 Chicago's World Fair. You see that? The star was chosen as it was thought that light from Arcturus had started its journey or at about the time of the previous Chicago's World Fair. And here you have a picture of Chicago's World Fair here. Now, it states that this happened in 1893 to celebrate the 400th anniversary of Christopher Columbus' arrival in the New World in 1492. You see this? You see how everything is lining up in the heavens. Now, let's see what happens when they figured out that this star was aligned in Uranus or the heavens. It states that the fair's opening night began with a nod to the heavens. A nod to the heavens. Lights were automatically activated when the rays of the star Arcturus was detected. The star was chosen as its light had started its journey at about the time of the previous Chicago's World Fair, the world's Columbian exposition. You see that? They said that it was chosen. It says the rays were focused on photoelectric cells in a series of astronomical, remember that word, observation, and then transformed into electrical energy, which transmitted to Chicago. So this star was already ordained in the heavens for being aligned over the bloody city Chicago, and they knew this. They said it was chosen, but this is where Arcturus, or the constellation of stars, are located over this city. Now, and it also has to do with Christopher Columbus discovering so-called Ozareth. We know that the tribe of Gad, which I am a part of, were already here when he discovered this place, okay? So, now, let's continue on.